So this afternoon, we've got the GRA SML deal. We've got fuel shortages that we are witnessing in some parts of the city. And of course, we start off with, this particular matter. Now, this afternoon, government has come under criticism about the arrest of Hopeson Adorye. And, what you are seeing on the screen, this was the period where Hopeson Adorye was being taken to the court for his plea to be taken. Adorye was picked up yesterday on charges of publishing false news when he claimed in a radio interview that he detonated dynamite in the Volta region during the 2016 presidential and parliamentary elections. Now, he's been put before court and granted bail, which conditions he's working around the clock to satisfy. But his legal team said the arrest and detention is nothing but politics and a desperate attempt by the governing MPP to divert the attention of Ghanaians from the bad press it has received within the last few weeks. Yabwabena Samoa is his lawyer and has been speaking with my colleague Latif Yudus at the Dansoman Circuit Court where the case was heard.
Part of the execution is that the investigator is satisfied the sureties are where they can find them. Okay. So now they are on a quest to look out at where the sureties live. And after they are satisfied the sureties can be traced, they will come back to the court to sign, and that will mean the execution of the bail bond upon which Mr. Adorye, Hopeson Adorye, will be released. I believe, traffic conditions permitting, within the hour they should be here.
From where you said, do you think you are in the position to get him to execute
the bail?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Once the court has granted bail, the police are cooperating, and together with the police, we are sure to execute the bail before close of the working day.
Let's come back to the charges. What do you make of the charges preferred against your client?
I would rather not go there because it's still in process. In fact, they are not very firm about what they are doing or saying. They still say they are investigating, and that I think it was a provisional charge of publication of false information under Section 208. I don't think it's a very strong thing that they are doing. Basically, this is politics. I mean, let's be frank. This is politics. This is politics. Mr. Adorye has of late been a bit critical of MPP government's performance, and he's been particularly acerbic about some of the incidents that happened before. This, if you listen carefully to the tape that the police are seeking to rely on, he is heard distinctly on that tape telling the people he was speaking to that he had informed the president, about this incident, and at the time he was a candidate. So it means before the president became president, he knew what was happening, and whatever Mr. Adorye was doing or was either helping others to do or inadvertently happening to get involved in or otherwise, the president knew. Then you come to power, and in 8 years, this is not the first time Mr. Adorye has mentioned this matter. But at the time, he was part of the MPP and speaking for the MPP.
Like yourself?
It was convenient for the government. I would even say the MPP. It was convenient for the government. We have this dichotomy where individuals ride on the back of political organizations like the MPP and DC and then get elected, and then they use power for their own benefit. That's the bottom line. So the government, which came out of the MPP, found it convenient at the time not to bother with Mr. Adorye's pronouncements. Now, suddenly, they realize Mr. Adorye is a thorn in the flesh of the government, and is pushing the movement for change, the agenda of the movement for change, for an independent president, a president who will work for Ghana, who will not depend on the partisan separation of the authority of the state. And because of that, given the headway that is being made, the temptation is to strike him and see if you can reduce his effectiveness, literally shut him up, but it won't work. And this is a mere attempt at muscling Mr. Adorye. It won't work.
You mentioned that this is pure politics, but the prosecution has a contrary view. They say because he mentioned that he sponsored 5 other people to carry out this explosion within the border town, it hinges on national security. That shouldn't be taken lightly.
The prosecution shouldn't be taken heavily. You'd rather be taken lightly. This is not the first time this matter has come up. And when you have a police prosecution and you are told before you come to court by the police that they are waiting for instructions from above before they conclude their investigations, then you realize that it is politics. That's what I'm saying. What national security thing is there about what they said happened in Togo, and it's been going on since 2016. What is supposed to have happened in 2016? They didn't realize for the past 8 years that national security was threatened. When Mr. Adorye was speaking for the government of the MPP, they didn't realize that he was threatening national security. So when did they realize that Mr. Adorye was a threat to national security? After he became a member of the Movement for Change? When did he become a threat? The incident that happened in 2016 has become a threat to national security now. Is that what the prosecution is saying? Because it's a joke.
Because it's gone public.
It is a joke. It's been public all this while. Let's not waste our time on these baby political things. It's appalling. It's pitiful to try and muscle the movement for change through this process. It can't stop anybody. This is not a banana republic. This is a democracy. This is not acceptable anymore. That partisanship based on which Mr. Adorye has been attacked, it's not acceptable anymore, because somebody sitting in the government of the MPP, somebody in government believes that Hopeson Adorye's current posture is a threat to the survival of that government, and therefore he must be attacked. It is only in the interest of the government, and it's not even in the interest of the MPP. This doesn't inure to the benefit of the members of the larger party. It only inures to the benefit of a few people within government who are benefiting from the authority and power that the party has given them. So it's politics, but it won't stop the movement for change. They have been away. And I told you, he said he told the president, didn't he? So why are you now asking me to evaluate?
He said.
Yes.
We have no means of
verifying. But they also say he said something on air. That's why they are attacking him. You want to believe what he said on air, but you don't want to believe what he said he told the president? You want to pick and choose what you want to believe? It's a charade. It's not my business to evaluate Mr. Adorye. It's my business to look at where this is leading Ghana. It's leading us nowhere. You can't pick and choose victims and use power against those victims because they are politically not aligned with you. You can't do politically motivated things in the name of national security and create the impression somebody is a threat to national security when all along you've been with that person and you know that you knew, and over 8 years, all of a sudden, the person becomes a threat to national security because you don't want to know him anymore. That is not my business.
Your campaign train has been very busy crisscrossing the country. How is this matter going to impact or derail the train, if you like?
You want it derailed?
I don't want it derailed. I'm only asking.
It will be derailed. Your question?
He's a key member of. He's a key member of your movement.
Derail. Yesterday he was invited. We're in Accra. Today he's gotten bail. We're moving on. We are doing our own thing. Well, why are you thinking derailment? Derailment means that the government succeeds. Mr. Adorye is arrested, so the entire movement for change comes crashing down. The entire alliance for revolutionary change comes crashing down. Don't forget, movement for change is part of an alliance. This is a broad range of interests who are coming together to change the political system, to break the duopoly down, this dominant duopoly of 32 years, so that we make headway in terms of what we choose to do with Ghana's future as a people. So it's bigger than an individual. It's a movement. It's a social movement. It's bigger than one person. But a lot of individuals come together and are working together to contribute to the success of the process for changing the political paradigm we have in Ghana at the moment. So the Alliance for Revolutionary Change is on course. The movement for change, which is led by Mr. Chematin within the alliance, and indeed Mr. Chematin is the presidential candidate of the alliance, is on course to change the politics of this country.
In some few seconds ago, you mentioned what I want to call some excesses of the regime. Is that why you left the party to begin with?
Let's not go back to that.
Okay, thank you.
That's history. I'm not interested in what happened with the party before and why I left and all that. That's history. Everybody knows why I left.
Many have also pointed out this very arrest of Hopeson Adorye is a diversionary tactic to, as it were, divert issues that are happening in the country as we speak. You share the same sentiment?
It's the truth. What's happening with the SNET divestitures, what's happening with the SML, publication of the full SML report, are things that the government really wants to run away from. And the belief is that this will divert public attention. It's what is called a dead cat in journalism. I'm sure you guys are aware of what a dead cat is. When you float something funny and then it diverts everybody from, by the time we all come back to it, then this will not be news anymore. So it is a diversion. What is going down is dirty. The SML report is bad, it's dirty. The SNET situation is bad, it's dirty. And the government wants to move away from those things with sensationalism. Arrest Hopeson Adorye, everybody is talking about it. After 1 week, everybody would have forgotten the debt in the SML, the debt in SNET.
Right, so let's pick the very latest on this matter. Let me bring in Nana Yao Sapong. He's a member of the Movement for Change and he joins us via Zoom. Nana Yao, good afternoon and welcome. So is Mr. Hopeson Adorye free now in terms of meeting his bail condition? Has he met all the conditions set in?
Thank you very much, my brother, and good afternoon to your viewers and your all Ghanaians across the world who are actually watching. And yes, as it stands, Mr. Hopeson Adorye has been able to meet the bail conditions. As you may know or you're aware, the bail condition had to do with two sureties plus a 20,000 Ghana cedis justified. Right. Yes, and then we've been able to meet all of those conditions as it stands now. We thank God for it. We in the Movement for Change, as it stands, as we say that we are not moved by what you're doing, we are not intimidated. Of course, we know that whatever is happening is politically motivated, and we are steadfast. We stand as Ghanaians. As the president said in his inaugural speech, he says that we should be citizens and not be spectators. We are being citizens, and we are going to resist the oppressor's rule. We are marching forward, and we are very much focused.
But the reason for the arrest is quite established. Why do you say it's politically motivated?
The reason for the arrest is publication of falsehood. Now, this is an incident that happened, they claim happened in 2016. Now, is this the first person to make such a statement? In recent time, one of the very top or senior men in the NPP was on one of the network stations, said that when he was youth leader, when he was an organizer, he campaigned throughout the length and breadth of this nation. He said that he knows every single ghetto in this country. He knows all the criminals in this country. He knows where the armed robbers meet. Now, this person is around. He's not gone anywhere. The police has not invited. We were in this country. Somebody made a claim on one of the stations. I think I'm told he currently works with Ghana Gas. He said that the late Evans Jonathan Mills, His Excellency, was murdered. He says that if the police do not know, he does, because somebody benefited from the death of His Excellency, the former president. The person is still walking free. People have made much more daring and incriminating statements that are there. What did Hopeson say? What actually did Hopeson say? In any case, he was not arrested yesterday. He was invited. If not for what they did, if not for the games they played with us from 12 noon yesterday, Hopeson wouldn't have slept in the cells. For a publication of falsehood is the least of all crimes.
But look at it this way. The pictures we are seeing on our screens is Hopeson in handcuffs, being treated like some hardened criminal.
Like a criminal.
And you are making light of this issue?
No, so you put him in handcuffs when you had not even charged him. You put him in handcuffs as if he's a murderer. You put him in handcuffs as if he's committed some high treason. I mean, in today's Ghana, where we have a certain president who is a human rights lawyer, they've not been fair to Hopeson Adorye. They've not been fair to Movement for Change, and we see this as a tactical way of intimidating us, but we don't mind. We are not intimidated, not at all. Not when we have come this far, and not when Ghanaians are ready to change the geopolitics, not when Ghanaians are ready to accept the great transformational plan instead of the normal and usual manifesto promises, not when the Ghanaians are ready to bring on board somebody as president who can have an impact, a positive impact to changing the economy. The cedi is $1 to a cedi is about 15 cedis, 35 pesos. That is what we should be arresting, and not somebody who has sat on radio to make a claim that you cannot even establish.
Yes, Nana, just a quick question here. So the movement says that they want to break this duopoly between the MPP and the NDC. They want to come out as refined politicians who are after the interests and the betterment of the Ghanaian people, and of course the development.
And that is what we are doing.
The development of the country. But comments like these, comments that has landed Hopeson Adorye in trouble. I mean, you can't classify these comments as comments that we should consider from a group that is seeking to deviate from the policies that we've been used to.
What you're failing to understand is that Hopeson was telling a story of yesterday. Hopeson was telling a story when he was uncircumcised. Hopeson was telling a story when he was unchristian. Now he's a born-again Christian. And
so
he's telling us that yesterday.
So he's confessing his sins.
Yesterday, this is what he did. He was telling us a story that yesterday this is what occurred. And as a change being as he is, he's moving forward and he's repented. That is my understanding. That is how I saw it. I mean, listening to the tape, he was telling a story. And so if I come to you and I'm telling you that when I was Mr. A, this is what we did. And because I am Mr. B, my leader does. I mean, even in that conversation, you will notice that that was when he made a statement that he was asked to take off the siren on his car. And he didn't want to take it off. But the leader called him and said that, listen, this is not how we're going to go about things. This is the new era. We are preaching to Ghanaians that we are new. We are preaching to Ghanaians that we are bringing something more positive and we should be more focused. Take it off. They said we should apply. We have applied. It's not responded. Reapply. We would play the game by the rules. I mean, we are law-abiding citizens. Alain Tremantin is a fine gentleman. You know. I mean, you've been in the media space for some time now. You know he's a fine gentleman. You know that he will not allow his followers to do things that are not unlawful. You know he will not allow that. And he's one politician who can hit his chest to say that he's incorrupt, and one politician who can hit his chest to say that he has never been negative towards anybody.
And so, does it in any way affect the movement in terms of your plans and programs going forward? Knowing very well that he may have to be back in court?
I'll not even let you land. Not at all. We are focused. We are focused. We are in high spirit. We are moving forward. We are the movement for change. We are bringing a change to Ghanaians. And Ghanaians are ready. They are accepting our change. And that is what is shocking some people. I mean, I think that some people least expected us to get to the extent we have gotten to. I am thinking that they anticipated that by now the movement for change would have been empty. But every single day we increase in numbers. Every single day we increase in strategy. Every single day they see Ghanaians accepting us and they see us winning. And that is what they are scared of. They are running away from the truth, from their shadows. And they think they can intimidate us. No, not at all. We are moving. We are going. The train is on. And we, as we speak, our leader has been invited to meet the Association of Ghana Industries. He's going to present to them his plan and what he has for the industrial Ghana and what he has in plan to move Ghana forward. Right, so we are very much.
My final question, so when are you doing in court, and Hopeson ready to defend his charges in court?
The lawyers are handling that. He was granted bail. I think that they presented a date to the judge, and so it will be agreed on, and we'll go back to court, and then whatever procedure that is there will be followed.
All right, Nana Osapon, thank you very much. He's a leading member of the movement, of the movement for change. And the news this afternoon is that finally, Hopeson Adorye, arrested and put before court today, granted bail, has met all the bail conditions and is now home. And the developing on this matter is that they are due back in court, hopefully somewhere next week, and he says that he will be there to defend himself. That is the news this afternoon.